Youth development doesn't start with education and end in sports. What better way to develop young people than to assist them to become employable?
One of the things I did, every time I met a young person who had left school and was saying that he or she was unemployed, I would say, look, have you considered the NSDC skills? Because while you are waiting to get employment, you should prepare yourself by getting the training. And we would take these names, and Marianne and Nadia, who work in the Constituency office, go out with me. We always carry around stationery, so as soon as we get a young person, we would put them on. When we get in here, I would call NSDC skills, and I try to get them to start the program in the next cycle.
The National Skills Development Center was established in 2001, and its primary mandate is to work with support from the private and public sector to assist in providing information and training services towards developing a skilled, informed and marketable workforce. Dr. Lewis's formula under a Labour government is to increase the foreign direct investment. He states mathematically, foreign direct investment plus young skilled workforce equals greater development for St. Lucia.
Any party that comes in the next government, the first priority has to be jobs, jobs and jobs. It means that we have to get foreign direct investment to bring into this country so that we can provide jobs for our people. So I don't, while I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it can be happening in isolation because the country is stagnating at the moment. If you look at the country, we have lost, I'm not suggesting that we didn't lose the jobs because of the meltdown between 2008, but we have not gone anywhere since the American and our economy is supposed to be picking up. The government told us that the country have grown by 4.4%. How does that reflect with jobs in St. Lucia? How does that show in the pockets of people in Castries South? When I work Castries South, that is not the picture I get. So I'm not suggesting that the government statistics were not true, but I'm saying my people have not benefited from that growth.
He further suggests that zoning additional areas within his constituency as purely commercial and industrial would further encourage employment opportunities directly to his constituents. However, he blames successive governments for not having the foresight to develop what he calls the best commercial real estate in Castries South.
This is not something that should have been thought about just now. We're talking about 1974, that there should have been plans to make sure that these areas are properly drained, and we built the Million Highway through the cul-de-sac area. So I'm just suggesting to you that even when you as a parliamentarian in the last 4.5 years try to speak to those in authority about what they should do in the cul-de-sac area in particular, you don't get a response. Because personally I think these are not the issues only of the parliamentarian, but these are national concerns.
According to the 2010 population census, 43,545 people live in Castries rural areas. Of that, 9,459 reside in Castries South. The same census showed that Castries rural had the second lowest unemployment rate on the island, yet has the highest crime rate. In a 12-month period in 2010, Castries rural collectively recorded the highest number of murders, kidnappings and shootings in St. Lucia. The SLP candidate, however, does not accept that his constituency is a crime hotspot.
Even if Cicero has been labelled by some people as hotspot, I don't label Cicero as a hotspot. I don't label anyone in Castries South. I know there's crime in places anyway in St. Lucia, but I'm saying I'm concerned as anybody else that we can bring down the crime level, and the biggest way we can bring down the crime level is by providing more opportunities for our young people. Castries South is a lot of young people, 35%, 40% young people, and there are few opportunities.
A community policing approach is what Dr. Lewis prescribes, coupled with more frequent raids on crime havens as well as dialogue in crime prevention, rather than the construction of a police substation within Cicero.
So the police, if they come into Cicero as often as they do, I have no problem with it. I think I would welcome that sort of thing. It will keep our community safe.
Youth, 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 I said youth already, right? If it sounds like repetition, it is because this candidate's approach to dealing with healthcare, unemployment, agriculture, tourism, infrastructure, education, and crime have all been geared towards, you guessed it, the youth.
This in particular, when I saw that problem, when I invited the young people as well as their parents to a meeting, and I think we had a young person having committed a crime in terms of murder in Cicero, a young person in school was charged. Now, obviously, that was concern for me.
He has also been instrumental in the revival of the community's cultural activities, as well as the initiation of the first ever Each One Reach One youth development program.
Pastor Joseph, they really have their cultural roots in terms of what we think of African culture, the drums. Every time there is National Day or Independence Day, they keep things alive by following the ancestral roots and so on. So that's good. In Basel, you can think of Bernadette, Sonny, along with Miss Avery, who've been very good at that. I think Fuasho has had a few attempts at having their own cultural issues where they bring the young people together. Just about 2 months ago, I was there in Fuasho. They had a cultural event where the young people were showing off their dance skills.
Hurricane Tomas was the 19th named storm and the 12th hurricane of the 2010 Atlantic hurricane season. Throughout the hurricane's path, it claimed 69 lives, 7 of which were in St. Lucia. Monetary losses throughout the Windward Islands were estimated at $588 million. In the aftermath of the storm, all parliamentary representatives were inundated with requests from residents who suffered severe loss. What should have been claims to insurance companies became a burden to MPs. But where must representatives who formed the opposition, like Dr. Lewis, source funding to assist residents if their pleas to central government are not heeded in a timely manner?
He called all the necessary places, all the places that was giving help to the hurricane people, hurricane victims. He called them, gave me all the numbers, and I spoke with everyone, absolutely everyone. He did everything that he could have, to the point where he looked for a wheelchair for my dad and groceries and everything.
But like government and opposition MPs, business houses as well become overwhelmed with charitable requests. When donations are not forthcoming, several MPs have had to personally finance many of these much-needed projects.
When the people did not come through for us, I called him, I let him know, and he did everything that he could have done for me up to this very day. And that is the reason why today, underneath my house, downstairs of my house, is being built to assist my father, to help my father. So when the place is finished, I can take my father and live with me.
Some MPs do it with much pomp and ceremony. However, others like Dr. Lewis say his main concern post-Tomas was to assist as many residents as possible to regain a sense of normalcy. The last thing he would have considered is having a camera crew trail him to record his charitable deeds, something this resident is grateful for.
He's not able to do for us all the things that we want him to do for us. I would advise them to give him a chance because he is a hard worker. His only problem is he's not able to do everything for everyone because his government is not in power. And if we are not stupid people, we are supposed to know that.
He's not even a serious threat to Robert.